Welcome to Weekend Night Live, hosted by Samuel Jacobs Abbey, where we play music, talk shows, and interviews on Be Inspired Podcast Network. Stay tuned and keep your dial on www.beinspiredpodcast.com. Don't forget to stay connected, be inspired, be unique, and be different.
Hello, my name is Quan Green, and I would love to share some products that I found that are very beneficial to not only my body, but I'm sure that they would really help your body. I found out that a lot of us are impacted and we need to be detoxed, and I found some wonderful products that will safely detox you and help you to eliminate the waste and feel good about yourself. We also have products that will help grow your hair and give your skin more vibrant radiance and suppleness and help with wrinkles. I also have products that will help with joint pain as well as help you to lose weight. These products are all natural, therefore you don't have to worry about putting something in your body that's going to add problems to the problems that you may already be facing. So if you're interested, please give me a call at 706-426-1471, or you can email me at preciousjewel492@gmail.com. Thank you and have a blessed day.
Wamaya, don't you? 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 Wamaya, don't you?
Hi, my name is Samuel Jacobs Abbey, and I'm the host of Be Inspired with the Weekend Night Live with Samuel Jacobs Abbey on Be Inspired Podcast Network. I just want to invite you and your family to tune in every Saturday at 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time and also at 7 p.m. GMT for those across the Atlantic Ocean to tune in to listen to inspiring voices, to listen to our interviews, individuals who have excelled in different forms of life. We bring them so they will be able to share their stories, and we know that their stories will have an effect on you. On Being Inspired Podcast Network, our mission and our goal is to empower people from around the world who have attained a certain height and sharing their stories to make a social change implication. Social change is very important, and it is important that individuals, families, societies, and leadership spend time to acquire knowledge and skills to help formulate policies and ideas to help shape their communities. That is the more reason why I want to invite you again to tune in every Saturday at 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time and also at 7:30 GMT on Be Inspired Podcast Network. You can catch us up on www.Be-Inspired Podcast Network, or you can also join us on our Facebook at Be Inspired Podcast Network, and we can have fun. Once again, tune in and have fun. God bless you.
You are having fun. You are enjoying that beautiful song from Nigeria. I know you are just having fun, and I have interrupted your music, which is okay. Because we are actually going to have fun, and I want you to get yourself ready because your dial here on the Be Inspired Podcast Network. We are looking forward to enjoy this beautiful moment, and just for the sake of those who are joining us for the first time, it is important for me to give you a quick reminder that Be Inspired Podcast Network is an international non-for-profit organization based in the Commonwealth of Virginia in the city of Woodbridge. We do this by identifying individuals who have excelled in their field of endeavor and who are actually making a social change implication impact in their communities. And so today we are excited that well over 18,000 individuals are waiting patiently from across the globe to discuss yet a very important social change issue. Now, young people have been excluded from development programs and activities in numerous ways. As an age cohort, youth are likely or are more likely, less likely to be involved in governance and also in decision-making processes as a result of economic, political, and procedural barriers that prevent their participation. Additionally, young people are often further marginalized within these groups due to their age. This layout marginalized not only infringe upon their fundamental human rights as young people, but also has a negative effect on the cohesion and stability in our societies. Today, I am so fortunate that this topic, we are expanding the conversation to include the perspective of the family. And because the perspective of the family is so crucial, we are also very fortunate that today a very good friend of mine, I have known her for many, many, many years. In fact, we actually sat in the same classroom. And so it's just a privilege that thousands of miles across the Atlantic Ocean, Mrs Rosemary Torgbor lives in Accra, Ghana. She's a very endowed woman, empowered all by herself, married to an Anglican priest. Herself, she worked with the public. She works as a public servant, as an HR consultant. Rosemary had a master's degree from the University of Ghana Business School and holds a master's in theology. Of course, she is married with 3 kids. So, folks from around the world, we are so excited and so happy to welcome my old friend Rosemary to Be Inspired Radio. Rose, you are welcome to Be Inspired.
Thank you very much, Joe. How are you?
We are very well. I'm doing so well. Thank you so much for finding some time to chat with us this evening. I know you are very passionate when it comes to youth development and youth leadership.
Exactly.
And so, with all these audiences listening to you from around the world, but before we go into that, I know I just gave a quick introduction of you, but it's always good to hear from the horse's own mouth. So why don't you just take a minute or so just to introduce yourself to us and also to tell us some other area of work that you've been working on that I may not have covered.
All right, then. Thank you so much for having me on your program. My name is Mrs Rosemary Torgbor, as you mentioned, and I'm a native of Ghana, and I'm married to an Anglican priest, and we have 3 kids by his grace. And currently, I work with the public service at the ministry, and I'm having a program on youth. I'm very interested in the youth. And this program is under the True Vine Ministry to support my husband. And we have been having programs like some of the topics we have been having about 20. We started in 2010. The first topic was career development and vulnerable diseases. Then in 2016, we had You and Your Sex Life for the youth. 2017, we had When Christian Relationship Goes Wrong. And 2018, we'll be doing You and Your Sex Life Reloaded because a lot of the youth in other parts of Accra wanted the same program. And the feedback was so strong that they needed more of that program. You know, youth and sex, so if it comes to that topic, they are more interested in that. So we are trying to do first week in September, we start that. So right now, this is what I'm embarking on to support the youth. So that we are doing this so that the youth can um, choose their career right and also direct them in their relationship to have a very good relationship in their life.
Awesome, awesome, awesome,
Yes.
awesome work that awesome work that you are doing. And today again are so privileged that we will have an opportunity to discuss and have a better understanding of youth marginalization and looking at it
Yes.
from the family perspective. I know you are a mother and also the wife of a priest, meaning that you do a lot of counseling with young people and you discuss areas by which you can either eliminate or minimize the marginalization when it comes to the youthful issue. So let me ask you quickly. Now,
Mm.
there's a school of thought that the issue of youth marginalization is it just a perception or an absolute truth about youth? Do you think that this whole concept, topic, discussion about youth marginalization is it just a perception or has some absolute foundation?
Thank you very much. I will be talking from the African point of view. It is not a perception because decision making is still in the hands of the adults in the family. In the African setting, we have parents who take decisions, aunties and uncles, parents, and all these adults around to take decisions. The young ones are not considered in decision making at all. So it's not a perception in any form, but it really exists. It's a real thing. Thank you.
Well, that's that. I mean, having said that, I totally I understand that because in my traveling around the world, particularly in the African continent, I see a lot of young
Mm.
people who by themselves either do not have anything or they don't even understand the purpose of their life and all that. But having said that, how will you define youth marginalization just in the context of the family settings and also to help our listeners to have a better understanding of what youth marginalization is all about?
All right. Thank you so much for this question. The dictionary explains youth marginalization as where a person or group of people are treated as insignificant or are being trivialized, isolated, cut off, or they are shelved and discriminated at. But in my opinion, youth marginalization is prevalent, that's dominant in Ghana or in fact most parts of African countries, primarily because of our culture. The old age view of young people have no say when adults are talking. It's by far the principal cause of youth marginalization. And again, the youth are not involved in meaningful participation in society. But as an HR, I want to take one of the experts of HR, who is Young 2000. He defines marginalization as exclusion, that is elimination the youth from meaningful participation in society. Then exclusion and marginalization may refer to very concrete and material deprivation such as unemployment, poverty, homeless, and being denied social welfare and services. So here you can see that the youth lack access to vital information and public discussion, and thereby not being able to participate in public affairs and act as a citizen. So this is what youth marginalization is all about. Being
Perfect.
isolated,
Perfect.
being
Perfect.
eliminated, being not taking part of anything. Yes.
Perfect. And I thought that the definition it's straight to the point and it's precise.
Yes.
Now, having
Yes.
looked now, let's look at it from the perspective at which you define this marginalization. Now, for instance, we have come to a point in our life where some things will lead into you or young people not being involved or participating in social and important conversations. So now the question that I will
Yes.
ask is here will be, what are some of the causes that leads young people to be marginalized?
Some of these causes are inadequate education and exposure. What do I mean by that? African culture does not give the youth a chance in decision making, especially when the youth education background is not something good or not up to, a good standard. But I think education is not everything. Some have experience, others have knowledge, some knowledge to add to decision making. So not if we put our mind on education, then we are missing the point. The next one is inferiority complex among the youth, among the young people as a result of socialization and upbringing. Some of them, their upbringing is so clear that they can't even socialize, they can't even contribute to anything in the society. Another thing also is elder perception. Elder perception of young people as radicals who lack some wisdom in the fact that they are not involved at all. Because sometimes they try to involve these young ones and maybe the answers they give or the contribution they give is not up to what they want. So these are some and other more causes that brings about marginalization. Thank you.
Wow, thank you so much from looking at that perspective. Now, I have a couple of questions flowing in and out. Let me pick one right now, and this is from Bangura in Sierra Leone. And Bangura said,
Okay.
thank you so much, Rosemary, for spending some time with us. I am a great follower of Being Inspired, and I admire all the people who come to the show. My question to you is that now you had initially mentioned that the family has a peculiar role to play when it comes to getting young people engaged and being empowered. Now, if this is so true, why has parents refused, or if not the appropriate word, why have parents not allowed themselves or create an enabling environment for their youth or young children to be active citizens and active participants?
Oh, thank you for that question. Most of the time, children, parents lack trust with the children because when you are involved, children are involved in decision making and all that. Parents especially look at, if they have 2 or 3 children, they look at who is trustworthy, who can conform to parents say do this, do that, don't do that. If you are radical, if you are rude, if you don't confine in where you are being asked to be, and you do whatever you want to do, I don't think your parents will be happy with you and involve you in even taking decisions. But I will advise all the youth that you have to humble yourself. So as you are with your parents, and you have not moved out from your parents' house, you have to be humble. You have to go by the rules of the house and be different. In doing that, anytime your parents want to take decisions, they involve you in the decision making. And all these will prevent marginalization among the youth. Thank you.
Wow, great. Now, in Liberia, Joseph writes, thank you guys. A very important topic. I stayed up just to listen to it, and so far it's going well. My question to Rosemary is that uh, do you think that our government has a role to play in all this youth marginalization?
Yes, the government has a role to play, and lots of role to play. And the government has to, you know, put up programs and activities for the youth so that they can also get involved in decision making. Some of these programs, people, the government gives chances for the youth to be part of the decision making, like they give a way for them to be part of the ministers or any other position in the government. But government must also put in place programs of activities to tap the knowledge of the youth and involve in its decision making. In doing that, the youth will still belong and share their ideas to the government. This is what I can say about it.
Thank you very much. Now let's go to Australia, and this is from Robert in Australia. And Robert said, it's pathetic and sad that in Africa, young people are only used as political picks because they will be used to elect government officials into power, but yet they don't have the capacity to demand accountability and also for their inclusion in programs. What kind of advice will you give to young people, particularly those who are well raised from homes, as to how they should conduct themselves in the political process?
Thank you very much. I will say that the youth must learn. We learn from our mistakes. We go in for one of these rallies and all that and make sure that they are nominated, they are voted for, they get their position, they forget about it. You go in for the first time, you don't know about it. You go in for the second time, you don't know about it. The third time, you must learn and focus on your education. Focus on your future. Because when you follow these people, after they learn, after they got their positions and all that, they try to forget about you. So why don't focus on your education, focus on your life, and move forward in life? Because when you follow these politicians, you become standstill. Because every time you're waiting for them, and you follow them, they give you small pennies, then you think you are okay. But I will advise that they should move away from these policies and all that. And it's good to be in politics, but if you are not ready, if you are not fully grown, fully, prepared to be in politics, I don't think you should be following them all the time rather than leaving your books and your job and your businesses and follow them. This is what I want to say about that. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And now let's go to Accra, Ghana. And this is coming from Kofi in Ghana. And Kofi said that thank you so much for spending some time again with this group. I'm following exactly all the things that you're saying. But the question here is that young people don't have capacity. Can you please suggest some areas by which the capacities of young persons can be empowered in order for them to become independent thinkers? Thank you.
All right. Taking this question, I would say they should educate themselves. They should read a lot. They should follow up with programs such as these to learn more from it. In so doing, you can build your capacity. Because if you want to follow policies, if you want to follow things that are not useful to your life, you are heading towards nowhere. But I would advise that as a youth, as a young person, your main priority is to learn, is to educate yourself, is to empower yourself. Nobody can motivate you. You can motivate yourself. So motivate yourself, engage yourself with those who are level-headed, those who know, those who can direct you. You can do this, you can do that, you can start from here, you can do, such people you can engage yourself in so that you can build your own capacity. And in so doing, you can even move away from marginalization because you try to empower yourself and stand tall so that in every decision making, you can be consulted. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Now let's go to Kenya, from Murata in Kenya. And Murata said, mine is more of a contribution. Young people must first of all learn to know that life is a process. You don't jump from kindergarten to university. You go through stages of life. And so my piece of advice to all young people listening to this show tonight is that don't be in a rush. Allow yourself to be counseled. Allow yourself to go through the process. And when you go through the process, you stand a chance of becoming a responsible, active citizen. Thank you. Anything you want to add up to what Murata is saying from Kenya?
Yes, I agree with her 100%. We start from 1 to 10, or from 1 to wherever you want to be. So it's a process, like you're saying, you have to take your time, have patience for yourself. You move from one stage to the other. When you get there, you get where you want to be. That's it. Thank you.
Great. All right, folks. I know you are enjoying yourself. More questions are pouring in left from right, and we still have online Mrs Rosemary Torgbor, a great human resource consultant, a mother of 3, a lover of youth work, and a seasoned marriage counselor as well. So now let's go to Liberia, and this is from Joseph. And Joseph said, young people have become tools and vehicles for violence and conflict. The family unit has failed miserably because now when you see young people outside of their home, they seem as if they have no moral values. What moral role does parents have over their children in solving the youth marginalization?
Thank you very much. They say charity begins at home. Parents have a lot of responsibility to do. Likewise, the child too has a responsibility to do. As a parent, God has blessed you with that child. The best gift from God are children. That is what we all know. So as a parent, if you have been given God by God's grace, you have been given the child, you have the responsibility of taking care of the child, training the child, educating the child, teaching the child God's will. Train up a child so that when he grows, he will never depart from it. So as a parent, you have to go by these words from God so that when your child grows, he or she will never depart from it. As a child, you have to humble yourself. You have to accept the rules and regulations from your parents so that you grow by their teachings, you grow by their guidance, you grow by the training that they want to give to you. All parents want their children to reach somewhere, to be responsible people in future. If the parents are doing all they could and you are not complying, you are not, you are not ready to accept what they are telling you, I don't think you want to do what they want to do. I don't think you want to reach there. So as parents, they have their part, and as youth, we also have our part to play so that it will be unique, it will be complete. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And then this one is coming from Peter, and Peter is writing from Uganda, and Peter said, "Oh, this is a big issue not only in my country, but all over Africa and some developed countries. That young people are always marginalized. Excuse me. Young people are always marginalized when it comes to active participation, but they are quick to be depended on when it comes to violence and creating instability in countries." My question to you is that what are some practical steps that you can recommend that parents, particularly mothers, to take to help shape the destiny of their children?
Thank you very much. Mothers have a lot of roles, a very big challenge in training their children. Although the father is there, the mother is the sole responsibility of training kids. As a mother, you want your child to be a good person. You want your child to grow in the fear of the Lord. So you have to teach your child the way of God, the way of God. Things that God says, you give the child the book of life. At least if you don't have now, try the next birthday of your child, buy a Bible for your child. At least read a verse with him or her every day. In so doing, your child will grow the way you want him or her to grow. Mothers are there, they have some passion for their children, and sometimes when their children are doing things that are not good, they try to cover up. But I will advise that don't cover up the bad things your children do, because if you cover it up, they will do it to you the same way they are doing it to other people. They will do it to other people. So please, mothers, try as much as possible to share your child's problem with others. Solutions might come, but you yourself also have to pick up and direct your children, teach them, and educate them well. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I will take a quick commercial break, and when we come back, we'll still continue our conversation on youth marginalization. So continue to keep your dial here at Be Inspired Radio, and your host again is Samuel Jacob Sabi, and I will come back and we'll continue with our conversation with Rosemary. So stand by and enjoy.
Hello, my name is Quan Green, and I would love to share some products that I found that are very beneficial to not only my body, but I'm sure that they would really help your body. I found out that a lot of us are impacted and we need to be detoxed, and I found some wonderful products that will safely detox you and help you to eliminate the waste and feel good about yourself. We also have products that will help grow your hair and give your skin more vibrant radiance and suppleness and help with wrinkles. I also have products that will help with joint pain as well as help you to lose weight. These products are all natural, therefore you don't have to worry about putting something in your body that's going to add problems to the problems that you may already be facing. So if you're interested, please give me a call at 706-426-1471, or you can email me at preciousjewel492
Weekend Night Live, hosted by Samuel
@gmail.com.
Jacobs Abbey, where we play music, talk shows, and interviews on Be Inspired Podcast Network. Stay tuned and keep your dial on www.beinspired.
Everyone, my name is Lily Valerie Odoy, and I would like to invite you to our Way of Worship. This is going to be a weekly podcast every Wednesday at 8 p.m.
righty, welcome back to the studios of Being Inspired Radio, and that was a beautiful song, Lion of Judah, by Lego Segubela from South Africa. And we are back with my good friend Rosemary. Rosemary, welcome back.
Thank you very much.
Thank you too. And still, there are tons of questions pouring in, and this question is coming from the Netherlands. It's coming from Luke from the Netherlands, and Luke says that thank you so much for sharing your perspective and your thought with us with regards to youth marginalization. The impression which is being created that it is only in Africa, I guarantee you that it is not. Come here, come to Netherlands here, and you will see how young people have been marginalized. Young people are not involved in anything, but yet young people are the ones that put the leaders there. My question to you is that what are some of the ways by which young people themselves can empower themselves to rally support among themselves so they can elect their own leaders into programs and activities?
All right. Thank you for this question. I think the youth can rally together. We have to create educational platform, support each other. There are a lot of them who have the opportunity to further their education. They can support those who cannot, go to school, those who are finding difficult to educate themselves, further their education. Those of them who have the opportunity to empower and encourage and motivate those who are less privileged. In doing that, we can curb youth marginalization. In doing that, even not a lot of them will follow these politicians, because if they organize these platforms for themselves, they will concentrate on that. They will elect their own people from that group. When they go up there, they go to the government and platform, they can talk for them. They can defend them, and they can support all of them. They can also, reach that stage. So this is what I can say, that they should create a platform, educational platform, help each other, support each other the way, in any way they can to get there. Thank you.
Got you. Now let's go to Morocco, and this is coming from Usman from Morocco, and Usman says that thank you. What role does the United Nations play? And this question is directly to Samuel because of your involvement with the United Nations. But what role does the United Nations plays in addressing the youth marginalization gaps? Hey, Yusuf, I will say that the United Nations considers this as a very important subject. There have been series of UN summits and workshops to discuss the issue of engaging young people in active participation. You see, the problem is that young people themselves are their own enemies. Like somebody asked earlier on, if you have not built enough capacity, if at the time where you're supposed to have been in school, you are not in school, at the time where you are supposed to have attained a certain credential and you've passed that age bracket and you aren't able to obtain those brackets, you are likely going to face some challenges ahead of you because your peers will be ahead of you, and you will have to become a struggle agent in order to catch up with your peers. So I will suggest that let's not rather push a blame on the United Nations and other civil society organizations. The purpose of the subject of our topic today is the role of the families. You see, those of us who, when we're growing up, had strict parents ensure that we went through certain basic principles of life. Today, by the special grace of God, we have become better persons. We have become more empowered. We could reach out and get things done. And research shows that those who did not get that kind of discipline, they don't care about what happens to our society. And so that's what I wanted to chip in. And I don't know, Rose, if you want to add up to it before we go to our next caller.
Yes, like you are saying, um, we shouldn't put the blame on AU or any civil society. We ourselves must check ourselves. See what we should find out what we are not doing right. Then we can do right because, like you said from the beginning, we are our own enemies. You want to pull him down and all that. Instead of you to educate yourself, instead of your friends are in classroom, your friends are doing business, your friends are, trying to make up with time. You are doing things which are not necessary to you. And when the time elapses, then you find yourself wanting. Let's make the day while the sun shines. Let's make good use of our youthful years because whilst you are growing, your mind too is growing. And sometimes you are not like this. Your mind becomes dull. You don't even do anything for yourself. So whilst you are a youth, try and make good use of your time, and the benefit will be enormous. Thank you.
Thank you. And this is from Baba
Yeah.
today. Baba today from Nigeria. And Baba today says that, well, when I walk through the mainland in Nigeria, I see a lot of young people who have resorted into prostitution. And for
Yeah.
that reason, they are disempowered and they have lost their moral values. I want to ask your guest, as a mother of three children and as a wife of a priest, what advice will she give to young women, particularly those in the youthful age bracket, to be able to protect their dignity and their morality?
Thank you very much. I like this question so much. And it's so disheartening when you see young, beautiful, talented ladies misusing their body and doing things that are not godly. My humble advice for all these people is that your body is the temple of God. God created you in his own image. Therefore, you must keep that body holy and clean. We have hands to work. There are 30 trading that we can do to build on it and become big business people. If you don't want to go to school, there are lots of businesses you can do. There is no need to go and take any huge amount of money. But you can start with small capital and you get there. So I'll plead with them. Quick money is not the best. You'll get it, but it's really last. You get it, and at the end of the day, you need all this money for medicines and for medications and running from hospital to hospital. I'll plead with all young ladies listening to me right now that God is there to listen to them. They should get closer to God, and God will direct them. Because if you can do all things through Christ who strengthens us, let's get closer to God, and God will direct us on whatever we want to do. Don't let's say, my friend is working and he's getting money and I can't do it. So let me go to this business and use my body and get what I want. No, no, no. For how long are you going to do that? It will not take you anywhere. Even if you have kids, what are you telling your children? They are looking after you. As mothers, as parents, we are the first role models for our kids. So let's stand firm. Let's stand tall. Do any job, different job that is in that food on our table, and stay away from all these bad business that we call it, using our body for money and all that. Thank you. Yes. Hello?
Yep. Can you hear me?
Yes,
Great,
yes.
great, great, great. And I thought
Mm.
your addition was a perfect one as well. Now,
All right. Mm.
if we want to move forward, I want to go straight to Benin. So we are getting closer to the West African countries, and you see the colors are
Mm.
from all over the world. And from
Yes.
Benin,
Mhm.
uh, the questioner here is Koti, and Koti said that thank you so much, thank you for your last statement. You touch it right on the head. Young people are becoming more of a societal baggage, and it is about time for us to put a stop to this. And I strongly agree with you about the fact
Mhm.
that you suggested that parents have a fundamental role to play in bringing up
Yes.
their wards for them to become responsible in our society. Now, here in Benin, what I have observed is that young people are just becoming pastors and pastors and pastors for because they have no job, and so they take on a pastoral role and do all manner of things to make money. Is that the same in your country? And if it is so, what can we do to let people know that everything is not about pastors?
Yes. Thank you very much for this question. This is all over the world. Everybody wants quick money. Therefore, they rush and they say they are pastors. God says we shouldn't judge. We don't know whether God has called them or not. So let's leave them alone. But I would say that as a young person coming, there is more to it than being a pastor. There is more to it. There are lots of things, opportunities out there for us to pursue it so that we can build our future on it. If you are not called by God, and you call yourself a pastor and start doing this shakalaka things, and it won't end you anywhere. It won't work. Otherwise, you go and call on other gods. But if God has called you, you yourself and others will testify that God has called you. So as young people, I will advise that there are lots of things for us to do. Let's pursue to that. If God has called you, by all means, He will call you to go and do what He wants you to do. But for now, as young people coming, our main priority is to learn, educate ourselves, to feel courses, read anything that you can read, so that you can empower yourself. Nobody can come from anywhere to come and empower. You can empower yourself by looking at people, role models, taking people as examples, and oh, I want to be like this person. It means you have to work towards it and be like that person. Not having a shortcut and say, I'm now a pastor. Then you go and gather two people. When you start shouting, Jesus, then you become a pastor. No, it's more of it than being a pastor. Yes, thank you. Hello?
Awesome, awesome. So now, if we move straight to Togo, because we are coming closer to Ghana. I have a bunch of questions from Ghana, which we'll use those two in wrapping up. So if we come to Togo, and this is coming from Fafa, and Fafa said that, well, I'm sure you are very familiar with the situation that happened in Togo, where young people came out in their numbers to oust government. But yet, guess what? young people are indeed marginalized. They are not even part of government. And I don't know about the case in Ghana, but the National Youth Council and all the youth policies developed doesn't empower young people themselves. I think that the way forward is that the families must be very supportive. They must help children or young people to make the rightful decision, especially in terms of school and selection of academic curriculum program. Do you think that education plays a pivotal role in the curbing of youth marginalization?
Yes, thank you for this question. Education really um, it's a factor to curb youth marginalization because if you are educated, you can do all things. You can go anywhere. You can stand the test of time. You can deal with every, you can face every situation because in the education, you are being empowered to face challenges. You are being empowered to face situations that you cannot even understand. If you are not educated, people take you for granted. You are not involved in anything. Although they will tell you have done wisdom, but your own wisdom is also important. But the book too is also important because there is knowledge in book. The education really is part of curbing this marginalization. So, like I said in the beginning, as a youth, your priority is to educate yourself, is to go to school, know the book, know because if you are not educated, how can you read the law? How can you read the do's and don'ts? How can you know when somebody is even teaching you or somebody is misleading you? Education is everything. So we should educate ourselves. You can do it yourself without even the support of anybody. If you really want to do it, you can do it. There are a lot of young people in Ghana here that they work, they do menial jobs, and they go to school in the evening. When they close from work, they go to school. When they close from work, they gradually, she will tell you, I have my third degree, I have my second degree. If you go into it and ask the person will tell you he or she will be supported herself because the parents don't have. If you want to get the education is the key. Thank you.
Good. So in that case, now let's go to Kumasi, here in the Ashanti region, and the Kofi says that the way our culture is, it's so primitive that young children or young adults have no say whatsoever when it comes to decision making processes. Meanwhile, in the United States, where I lived for many years, about 20 years, young people have a say in everything. Why do we have difficulty allowing young people to be active participants?
Yes. And from the beginning, I said that as Africans, and particularly in Ghana, we have kings and parents and adults in the family who take decisions. That is our culture. If you are a child, they don't even want to get you involved into anything. That is the culture of most African countries, and especially Ghana. It's rather unfortunate, but now I think things are changing because if you want to do something for your child, you get a child involved, you ask your child for your opinion. I want to do party for you. What color do you have? Do you want? I want to do cake for you. What type do you want to do you want? Because you can go again with the person, the child will tell you, I don't like it. Because I didn't choose that. So now I think things are changing. But in the olden days, it was very strict. Even when adults are sitting there, you dare not come near them. You have to be far away from them if they haven't called you to come and do something for them. But I think, from my point of view and from the environment that I live and now I'm living, I think and with my children, I can use my children as an example, it's changing because I get them involved in decision making and it really empowers them. It opens their eyes. if you do that, it's opening their eyes. They become bold, they become confident. When they go out, they can handle whatever situation they find themselves. So it's gradually changing, and we are praying that it changes because these are the future leaders of our nation. Yeah.
That's right. That's right. That's right. So we'll have two more questions to wrap up. But before that, let's listen to a song for my good friend, Reverend Denzin Prempe, and the song entitled Minyobia. And once the song ends, we will come back with our last two questions, and then we'll call it a day. So stand by and enjoy the song from my good friend, Reverend Denzin.
Simple song God gave said Minyobia, oh Minyobia, so let me hear the chest sing Minyobia, say this is the part I like. It says in Tontum Sawo and Nasi Sawo Minyobia Sawo Yesu Tontum Sawo Tontum Sawo Minyobia. Come on, lift up your hands and sing. I have no other God but you.
And that was a song from Reverend Denzin Prempe. It was a beautiful song, Binyobia. And so, folks, we are so excited that today we've had a beautiful conversation with Rosemary, and we've discussed the issue concerning youth marginalization. We've looked at it from different perspectives, both cultural. We looked at it from educational capacity building. We've also looked at the political will and all that, in ensuring that the capacities of young people are built, and then also to equip them for the future. Unfortunately, time will not permit us to read the other questions that came in, but I can assure you that the conversation still continues with regards to this subject, and it is our responsibilities as societies to ensure that our youth becomes active participants in every aspect of our socioeconomic development, particularly in the family unit, and becoming responsible adults. Because if the society will but invest in young people and to equip them and position them correctly, you can be assured that these young ones will become responsible leaders, and they will turn the country upside down and bring innovative and creative ideas. Just want to take this opportunity to thank every one of you who have listened to the show. It's been great. We are so grateful for our 18,000 plus people who joined us today. But before we wrap up, we'll go back to our resource guest, Rosemary, to give us a wrapping remark. And if she has some few recommendations that she wants to share with the world, we'll take it and then we'll wrap it up.
All right, then. Thank you very much. I would say that there are others who can be faced with marginalization, not only the youth. These are women, physical or mental disabilities, and the elderly people in society. Research has also shown that in Italy, young people, many young people living in the state of exclusion and marginalization are exploited by criminal networks, while in Belgium, young people in vulnerable conditions become an easy target for terrorist organizations and criminal networks. This, I must say, is very disheartening. And families must empower their children in all aspects of life in order to combat marginalization. Not only individual or community state marginalization, but on the global level, even the whole nation may face marginalization. And in conclusion, I would say that combating marginalization of young people should not be a priority only for the European Union, but also for national and regional authorities, as well as for all civil societies and organizations. Thank you very much. And thank you so much for having me on your show.
Oh, thank you so much. We are very grateful and we are excited and we look forward to having you come back sooner to talk about other areas that inspires you. We are very grateful,
Right.
folks. I just want to thank you once again for spending your night with us. It depends on where you are on the map. God bless all of you for sticking out with us. Continue to keep your dial here on Be Inspired Radio. And I want to thank everyone. And Sister Rosemary, thank you so much again. And please extend my regards and my love to Father and the rest of the family. God bless you and enjoy the beauty of the evening in Ghana. Have a good evening.
God bless you too. God bless you too.
Welcome to Weekend Night Live, hosted by Samuel Jacobs Abbey, where we play music, talk shows, and interviews on Be Inspired Podcast Network. Stay tuned and keep your dial on www.beinspiredpodcast.com. Don't forget to stay connected, be inspired, be unique, and be different.